All right. So we already did the event for this week over in Vprisoner's stream. Vprisoner's here with me as well today.
Hey, what's up?
So we've already done the Final Fantasy IV event for this week over there. But there's another thing that we haven't done on either of ours yet, and it was something I figured that seeing as I've been able to do mastery on all these, I'd show off, and that's the full Magicite dungeons. I did a stream a couple weeks ago that was showing off Magicite, what Magicite is, how difficult those fights are, etc. Showing off sort of the building up a team to beat up Liquid Flame, which was a lot of fun. But we haven't shown off all 6 of the fights. And I wanted to take the time to show off the team building, the like amount of setup that goes into these, and how unique each of the fights is. So, yeah, that's what we're going to do
Yeah,
today.
the big issue is generally you really kind of have to make sure that all of your teams are capable of doing the same sort of stuff. You need someone that can really keep you standing, and also you need plenty of buffs. And so when it really comes down to it, a lot of the customization that goes into Magicite teams generally revolves around slotting in specific DPS, just like 1 or 2 characters with the elemental DPS that you need, and then everybody else just sort of slots in the same.
Yep. So, we're going to go ahead and jump right on in. We don't have any prelude or banners or things to talk about. We just have the setup for the fights and the fights themselves, and we have 6 of these to do. We got 6 little gems up in the corner here, you can see, top right. So we are all set to go. I'm going to be doing these from... I'm going to start at Lightning and go clockwise to Earth. I think that'll be the most differing fights in sequence. For instance, if I left water until the end, we would have the same team about 5 times in a row. You know, things like that. So we're going to start with Lightning, which is a fairly basic one of these. So the boss we have here is Hydra. This is from Final Fantasy V, an enemy who appears in the Ronkin Ruins. This enemy here has hefty lightning damage, needing some sort of lightning resistance to kind of break it down. It also has a Maelstrom, which can deal percentage damage, hitting us very low. But other than that, is a very basic boss, so I think it's a good one to start this off on. Is weak to Earth, so we're going to be using Earth to break through it. And the target is just hit the Hydra with an Earth attack. Hopefully I haven't done Hydra much. I think I've only done it once. I'd also note that these are not going to be like super speedrun clears. I'm not going to be able to be getting 30 seconds or less on any of these, to my knowledge, unless I have something that's heavily changed on like Liquid Flame, which I don't think has. These will probably be about 40 to 50 second clears, with some of them taking a little longer because my element either is very poor or we're going to be doing something daft. So I'm excited for doing daft things, but let us enter the dungeon, and let me set the boss rotation up so that it is just the 1, so that we just have the image of Hydra in the corner. Okay, Hydra's in the corner, that's good. So,
as we've mentioned before, a lot of these Magicite fights are meant to be sped run. Generally, they kind of want you to stay somewhere under a minute or something like that. These bosses tend to have a flip the fuck out mode, or roughly after a minute. Varies from boss to boss, really.
right, Fenrir can flip out a little after a minute, whereas Liquid Flames can, in general, takes about 2 because of how the rotation gimmick works. So first things first, we're going to be setting up our party, which is going to be Bartz. Bartz is going to be here for the heftiest earth damage that I can bring to bear. If I pull up Bartz here, we have Bartz's BSB 3, which is earth-based, with in-earth and heavy earth damage on the commands, as well as the chasers that Chosen Traveler is going to be bringing to the table. So we have a lot of earth damage to bring to bear here. Our second earth damager is Ingus here, with Ingus's burst, which allows us to have pulling attacks over to Ingus here with a tour de force. Ingus doesn't have a ton of damage because these are only 4-hit AoE and then 2-hit one target on the commands, but it's enough damage. My other options I could bring to bear include, let me go ahead and pull up my other characters I could bring, but I'm choosing not to. We have Maria with her burst. The reason I'm not bringing Maria is that she doesn't fit well with Ishtola's attack buff. Sadly, I think she would work well if I had Ishtola's USB, then that would be a different thing. We could bring her into the fight and have her dealing magic damage. Our other option I could bring if I had him leveled enough would be Gladiolus, who has a version of, a close version of Ingus's burst, but honestly just isn't high enough level right now, and I haven't spent the time on him. I think he would be better than Ingus and would be an improvement, because Shield Slam is just more damaging. So
also because, like, Gladiolus's burst is a much more aggressive version of Ingus's.
Yeah, so
that being said, Ingus is probably going to be doing a lot of damage anyway, because Hydra loves to spam AoEs a lot, so Ingus is going to get hit constantly, so those entries will just go flying.
Let me take a look. How many eggs do I have sitting around? Could I level my buddy Gladiolus up to, like, I would take 80. Gefgarian, Gladiolus, optimize, 68. Okay, no, I don't have the eggs for that. So we'll do Ingus here. So
yeah, let's
jumping in. We need to we've done the remove all equip. We need to then set up our party and how they're going to be going in this fight. We have Bartz is going to need meter building. That's very important for Bartz, because Bartz' combo needs 2 bars to start functioning. The Chosen Traveler followed by the Latent Power. Speaking of which, we can remove any of the others. We're not going to be using those we can remove everything that isn't Oathsworn Espada. Removing these breaks is important just for speed. Like, for instance, Yasholah's in here only as healing. She has wall, but she's not going to be using it in this fight. There are also a couple fights where I'm going to try bringing Realm instead of Y'shtola to see how that works out.
The interesting thing, though, is later on, once we get Holy and Dark Magicites, then Ilara will unlock her own version of the Onion buff, which is the attack, magic, and haste, which means that you actually can bring Wall to a fight and forego a body that is there specifically for an Onion-style buff. So it kind of changes a little bit how you approach the fight. You can bring in more DPS, you can bring in something else.
Yep. And Minfilia, I'm just going to outfit Minfilia for the future at the moment. Minfilia is going to want to bring Affliction Break in future fights. This is the only fight that really Riku doesn't have as much to do here. Riku normally can hit weakness on basically anything, except for Holy Dark, but Earth is also in there. I don't have anything I can do for that. So I'm going to be bringing...
yeah, it's just Holy Dark and Earth.
Yeah. Which is a bit sad. I don't really know. I think just Dismissal or something like that might be fine. Yeah, Riku's here because Riku's setup from Hyper Mighty G is way too much to pass up. That's why she makes it in every one of my teams, and she also is fully legendized for that reason.
Like, ironically, she doesn't really have to hit weakness in order to do much of anything in this fight, because, again, Hydra is just going to AoE you to the fucking dirt. And as such, she will easily build her meter back.
And we're looking for resist lightning equipment after looking for boosting earth. We do have a bit of resisting lightning in our thunder gloves here, which are a bit old. That's a lot of res I'm giving up for this. I don't know if that's actually worth it. That is a really large difference in power. I'm gonna say that's better than Gefgarian's Shell, though. So I'm gonna give that to Ingus here. I'm also gonna take a look to see if we have any resist lightning accessories that are offensive. We do. So I can give up some of my power in order to add some lightning resist to these characters. And I can also hand off... I like to give the last bit of it to Y'shtola so that she doesn't fall over. No, actually... No, I should actually put that on Minfilia. Because Minfilia has is the one of these that isn't dived as much, so...
Yeah. So my two DPS were Ingus and Rydia, I believe.
That
And
works
I
well
really
here.
did. Yeah, it actually does. I was actually kind of impressed because it didn't look like they were doing all that much damage initially, but it just kept ramping up. They kept getting to fire off their BSBs over and over again because they kept getting hit so many times. So even though they are both very AoE-centric BSBs, they still worked out really well. To say nothing of the fact that Ingus can self-buff. His entry has an attack and defense buff on it.
Okay, I'm taking a look at the Magicite I want to bring. So I'm using...
Squirrel token, when I think of Type 0, I don't think of anything resembling grounded.
Ha. Do I just have the defense boon, or do I have a better... Like I have Mind boon I could put on. Defense boon, attack boon, eh? I'll take attack boon 3. Okay, and then I have to go quickly level a couple Magicite. So the Magicite I've equipped are upping my earth damage and lowering lightning incoming damage. And then using Enkidu as my like used
Main.
one, because Enkidu's ability is really powerful.
Enkidu is probably the best general purpose Magicite in the game.
Yep. Okay. And that gives us some more Empower Earth.
So I guess while we are busy discussing this sort of stuff, as you've said before, I think Japan recently came out with the 4-star Magicite dungeons.
Yes.
To facilitate that, they have also announced 2 different types of new Soulbreak, because the 4-star Magicite dungeons are something just like, I have 1,000,000 HP and even more defenses. So what we got is, we have Ultra Overstrike Soulbreaks, UOSBs, which are basically just extremely souped up OSBs that do multiple hits, but they take 3 bars to cast, and they can only be used once per battle. And we also have Flash Soulbreaks, which use half of a bar, but they have a similar tax bracket to compensate. Like, they're just basically very quick and efficient setups that are supposed to be somewhere between a super soul break and a unique soul break.
This is far-flung future, by the way.
Far-flung future. It's just something to discuss.
Yep. Like, this is like months and months and months off. It isn't even released
Yeah,
content.
so like so far away you can't even fucking believe it.
Alright, alright, so we're ready to jump on in.
Yep. Believe so.
So yeah, Hydra. You'll be seeing a lot of lightning damage.
Hydra's also a very, very scary boss at first glance, just because she has a lot of imperil lightning attached to her attacks as well. So not only does she constantly slam you with lightning attacks, but she can also just make them more and more powerful as the fight goes on. Affliction Break can only really do so much to stave it off just because it's so relentless.
Yep. Oh,
honestly, I think
oops.
the thing that I really like... Oh.
I made a misstep on one ability on one character. That's fine. It shouldn't matter that much. I guess we'll see. Record materia on 2 of the characters is wrong.
I see.
Again, like, Magicite Fights demand kind of a perfection in your setup, so one slight mistake like that is enough to be like, oh, is that enough for me to just lose? Maybe.
Probably.
Very likely, in fact. Because as you can tell, Minfilia didn't use Blessing of Light on turn 1. That's literally it.
So I was going to say, I really appreciate the fact that Magicite Fights bring out ability uses a lot more, just because ability uses have very high multipliers compared to BSB commands. It's generally not something that has ever been brought up before in a lot of cases, because usually number of hits and the multiplier is high enough to where ability uses just sort of get sidelined. But now that we start having lots of USBs that reward the use of honed abilities, we're also going to be getting that ability buff that we keep hyping up, where everything is just going to get jacked up to 11. Pretty soon, BSBs will be measured not by how strong they are on their own, but how well they can facilitate ability uses. Which is why you see stuff like Bartz's Latent Power has a lot of support abilities going on attached to it.
Yeah.
It ups his Spellblade damage, it ups his other damage, and that is basically meant to let it both stand alone and also allow it to work well with Quake Strike.
Okay, and now we're in the damage dealing phase, as it were. Oathsworn, Espada, and Chosen Traveler are going to be getting on. The big thing is going to be when Barth starts going. You notice that we're 20 seconds into the fight and I haven't really dealt any hefty damage. Well, that's about to change. Barth is about to start bringing the pain.
Yes, the US meta is going to change in a big way pretty soon. Incidentally, it's also why I liked combo BSB so much, like, say, Noctis and Freya and Kayn. Their BSBs are going to transition very gracefully into this upcoming new meta.
I don't think there's going to be that big of a shift, really. I think we're going to see, I don't think we're going to see, abilities, get worse, or, BSBs get worse, or, fall behind. It's just going to be different options that are available to you. You know, it's not going to be like that older BSBs are, this is garbage and just throw it out, but, that there are uses for abilities. Yep, alright, we're going to chug some...
Yeah.
Chug to get charged, and start the beatdown here. I need to reapply
I mean,
wall.
the big concern has always been that... Oh, also, Bartz's BSB 3 animation fucking rules.
Yeah.
I love that shit. The biggest concern has always been that BSBs are kind of overpowered in their self-sufficiency and their output. Dana kind of wrote themselves into a corner making those things, because even though they're incredibly fun to use, there's also not a whole lot of reason to use anything other than them for the longest time. Which is why they've been trying to like make USBs, things that reward you using homed abilities more.
Yep.
And as such, they've been trying to shift the focus away from just having a good BSB, which is, again, like, that's also kind of a gacha problem, because then it makes you feel like you can't really do a whole lot on your own without, like, playing the gacha.
There we go, H-Strike.
Kind of
Hell
a
yeah.
big issue.
That is exactly the sort of move we're looking for, is the H-Strike.
God, I didn't even think about the 8-strike because, like, the multipliers, I'm like, well, how much is it going to do? It's doing significant damage, actually.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty hefty
3,000 is
amount
a lot more than I could.
It's a pretty hefty amount of my damage, actually. Alright, probably have to reapply Hyper Mighty G here in a little bit. Oh, sweet, double cast, too.
Latent power looks like incredibly fun times.
I really like OSBs.
Like, holy...
Yeah, latent power
Yeah.
rocks. It's real good.
I like OSBs too.
Yeah.
I think they get much better play here than anywhere else, because you need all the damage you can get, frankly, and I guess the reason why OSBs tend to get shat on more than any other Soul Break is because it's just raw damage, and utility has become more and more important. And granted, you got a DPS, you got like setups to think about. There's no
Yep.
other better option.
There's our Sunder Spellblade.
Oh, nice. I think the only two OSBs that no one has ever shat on are Orlando's and Noctis's, and those are like OSBs already.
Yep.
God, you haven't even used Enkidu yet. That's crazy.
No, I think I will. I will have to here in a moment, but we're getting to
You've
the
been
point.
taking pretty good care.
Yeah, we're getting to the point where I think I have to Enkidu on this turn. That's fine. It's instant cast for a reason. Anyway, Chosen Traveler's back up, and then we're going to do another BSB entry, and then we're going to use like 2 copies of Sundering Sands, and I think the boss will die. That's it. So White Wind keeps us going.
I love the Excalibur sword shuffle that Bartz does when he's busy charging up for Chosen Traveler.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about with Angus. Like, how many times has he fired off his entry?
Oh.
He's been getting bars for days.
Yeah. I need him to do a rush here. I need him to take 1 turn off. I'll be okay to win the fight if he doesn't take the turn off, but I really would like it if he did. He did not. Oh, well, Blessing Light went off after anyway, so we'll be okay. OSBs or Oversoul Soul Breaks and USBs Ultra Soul Breaks don't really replace each other. They just both sort of exist at the same time. Also, there we go,
Yeah.
H-Strike. So,
I mean, for starters, USBs came after OSBs.
yeah. And then Savage Thunderbolt, which is going to trigger everybody's last stand. Oh, 4 people's last stand, but we get Asylum off afterwards, so...
Oh my god.
I have fought enough
Watching
of these
that
to get
wall
the...
of pink, watching that wall of pink come up is like the scariest shit in the world.
Alright, and that's gonna be the fight. Well, we are under a minute. 59-19.
Holy shit.
And that was with the misstep, so that's fine.
Yeah, that reminds me. I like, you know that I sub 30'd Sea Lion, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, like so it was something like 29-37. I just wanted to see if I could do it because my fire damage is pretty extreme.
Alright, we get our completion bonus of some Greater Arcana and all that, which... The Magicite's what we're actually after. Alright. Orbital Serial Bus. Alright, we got our 10 mithril, or our 2 mithril for that. Alright, so next up on the list that we're going to be fighting is going to be a change in strategy from the Bart's plus team, as we're going to be fighting the whale, the angry whale, Bismarck. Bismarck, we're actually starting with the most damaging ones, aren't we? So Bismarck,
yeah, Bismarck
here is damage. It's heavy damage. Breach Blast and Savage Breach Blast hit super freaking hard. And also, Bismarck has a lot of other elemental abilities to go with it. So...
That's really kind of the biggest issue because you can't actually like have accessories for every single contingency because he smacks you with like 4 different elements.
Yep. So let's change over our image to Bismarck, the whale.
Squirrel token. We don't know the damage multipliers on UOSBs yet, but we kind of can take a guess because Squall was doing like 55,000 damage per hit on Fenrir. And that was before it got buffed.
Okay, so we're still going to be using Minfilia, Y'shtola, and Riku for this one. But this time, rather than Bards and a friend, we're going to have Raijin in the fight, and we're going to have our good buddy Orlando in the fight. Now, these two...
Raijin actually lends himself... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, Raijin does lend himself a lot to this fight. Raijin is able to play defense and offense at the same time with his BSB. Let me see what we want to have on. I think we just need a Life Siphon on people.
Like, the thing to note about Raijin's BSB is that you look at that, you realize the kind of game he plays, and then you're like, why even bring him to a DPS fight? That off-heal matters a lot.
Yes, it does. It keeps you going a lot in these. I only need my 6 Life Siphon on Raijin, because Raijin only needs to get into his mode, and then keep moving from there. What else? We want to change up abilities on Riku. Riku's going to switch over to having an elemental striking ability, Tempest Snipe. I also could probably give Riku a ranged weapon to take advantage of... Actually, no, Tempest Snipe doesn't care about that. Tempest Snipe doesn't have that line of text on it. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Then let's go ahead and check for elemental resistance. Yeah, this is the rudest whale. So let's go ahead and find our water resist accessories, things we can put on. Because any little bit helps. So we got a little bit to hand over to our friends here. We got a little bit to hand over to both Raijin and Orlando. We can hand over a bigger one to Minfilia so that she stays standing. Orbital cereal
Yeah, so you might be wondering, why does this whale have so many elemental attacks? And the answer to that is, in FF6, he taught fire, ice, thunder, and life.
Yep. And we're looking for lightning boosting. Ooh, I actually do have a lightning boosting armor. It's Ash's BSB armor.
I brought up OUSBs, and then suddenly the zoo is just enamored with the idea of orbital strike serial buses.
Hell yeah. And I think I can give... ooh, that's not going to be worth it, is it? I can give Raijin a weapon that has, like, lightning boosting, but I have to give up 70 attack for it.
That's actually kind of worth it, honestly. Because the big secret with Magicite Fights is you're going to be hitting the stat cap anyway, so bonus damage from elemental bonuses or some such abilities like that actually matter a whole lot more.
Alright, that means we can give Riku a better weapon. What else do we have? Looks like that's everything we could bring here. Let me check out record material on everybody. We want to have, let's see. We want both Riku and Minfilia to have the Mako Might to start. I think we want Thunder God's Might on Raijin. Yeah, that makes sense. Alright, and then we just remove soul breaks that we don't need, so we don't need sword play because we're only going to be using Thunder God. I do keep the Echo around because there are times where I want Minfilia's final move to just be deal, like, a bunch of damage. The Bahamut Blast. Go get some Baja Blast.
Yes, that's definitely what I wanted to see out of Final Fantasy Record Keeper, playing as my good friend Jeff Bahamut.
Alright, looks like that's all set. So our team is set. Now we have to change up the Magicite a little bit. I'm going to, again, keep my Magicite on, the main Magicite on what it is, but I'm going to change the backup Magicite to be lightning damage and water resistance. So we want element lightning. So Empower Lightning 6, that's a good one to have bring to the table. Not Dampen Lightning. Empower Lightning 6, that's another good one to bring to the table. Or no, sorry, that's the same one to bring to the table. This one is Empower Lightning 3.
Okay, so is Bahamut just like the new Coke of summons? Do we just like call every summon a Bahamut now?
You gotta have the Baja Blast. Alright, and where's
I think my Bajas have been blasted hours ago, dude.
Yeah, your Bajas have been blasted a lot today. I understand. Empower Water we don't want. We want Dampen Water, which... Nope. Might as well bring that to bear. So we got... Ooh, Resboon. Okay.
So the other weird thing to note about Magicite is that, yes, a lot of it is just flat good against a respective element, but we also have a lot of Magicite that specifically works for Magicite Fights, if that makes any sense. Or like, for example, you would have an Ice Magicite boss that gives you a barrier that blocks wind attacks.
Yep.
Which is awkward as hell until you realize that is specifically for Fenrir and no other fight.
Yeah, and I'm bringing in Kidu to a lot of these because Kidu is just a very useful Magicite to have, which is why it's on my list, and this is my main Magicite. Anyway.
Instant Kiraga with Esanaga on top just is never depreciating. It's good all across the board.
All right, so we are all set. We have our Magicite ready. We have our characters ready. Everybody's set to go. I think we're ready for the fight. The only thing I might want to change is this Affliction Break isn't useful in this fight.
It's the only one that's... Like, not a lot of fights actually have Affliction Break just be worthless. Bismarck just does damage, and that's it.
I'm gonna bring Full Break, even though it's at 80% reduced effectiveness. That's better than nothing.
I gotta have something to do.
Yep. Alright. So let me quick grab our screenshot for the side there, and then we'll get going in the fight.
Did you know that there's a feature at USB that does an attack that lowers defense and resistance by 70%?
That's a lot. Who gets that?
Irving.
Nice.
Like, just Irving just suddenly strolls in and is like, yeah, I can just basically debuff Magicite bosses, no big deal.
Alright. So the team has been altered, and we're ready to go. It depends. So, like, what does a break normally? 50%? It depends on if it's an ability or a soul break. It can be ranging from anywhere from 20% on, like, Mug Bloodlust to 50% on, like, BSB entries. I think Onion Slice is a 50%.
Generally, if it's a... Yeah, generally if it's an ability, then it doesn't go past 20%. If it's a soul break, then it can range from 20 to 50.
I want to say breakdowns are 30.
Maybe.
Alright. So, here we are, back to the Bismarck zone. You do fight this whale in 14. He's a boss in Heaven's Word.
Bismarck. Savage.
There is. Yeah, Bismarck is definitely a boss in that game.
Yeah, speaking of Crystal Tower, I wonder if we're going to see him in that one.
Maybe. Oh dear. There's Breach Blast. I might have to restart this one specifically because I faltered at the start on who was going to use the wall, and that caused me to take 2 attacks without having the wall up. Unless that happens, unless you're Stolish kind enough to double Kirihara and forgive all of my bad decisions, which, you know, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, like, the big issue... The big issue with a lot of these fights is that you need not just any old healer. You need an extremely good healer, and Y'shtola is like the hardest of hard carries in these Magicite fights.
Yep. Even without wall, she's very powerful. Alright, so we do one Thunder God early, because we want to get Thunder God's Might on. And then we get our Raijin's gonna start building up.
Huh, 52, that's not actually that bad.
Yeah, Y'shtola gets to cheat having Stone Skin. Stone Skin was an ability in Final Fantasy XIV up until Stormblood. Bismarck was a summon from FF6. I didn't mention where this boss came from like I did with the last one, but this is a boss from FF6.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so here comes Savage Breach Blast, if I know my timings right. Right on the money.
He was one of the bosses... Yeah. He was one of the bosses that... the Magicites that you could get in the Magitech factory. They just sort of dumped a whole bunch of Magicite in your lap, and he's like, well, get to it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why I sort of had to second-guess myself. He's not a boss, he falls out of a tube.
Yeah.
Then again, the boss that you fight at the end falls out of a tube.
So we're just gonna keep Thunder Gods miting. We're just gonna keep going as as quickly as we can to. I think we're gonna use an Asylum finally.
And I'm just sort of picturing Celeste and Locke just walking down the hall with all the Magicite tubes in there, and you just see like this gigantic fucking whale somehow just crammed into a tube.
Like, how did this get here? Well, whatever.
How did this whale get here? Sid is a genius.
Who put this whale in here? Okay. So we've preemptively used an Asylum to give us some defending time. There's a Savage Breach Blast, which it'll absorb most of. Not all of, but most.
Oh wow, I completely forgot about the fact that Madeline, Terra's dad, fucking dies in the tubes, and nobody picks up on it.
They're like, oh, whoops. Alright. At this point, we're going to have, I'm going to have Raijin reuse his BSB entry, and then use Raijin Detonate. I also need to reapply Wall, which is going to be Minfilia's job. Maybe it should have been somebody else's job. I think I'm going to take one attack without Wall. No, my wall. I used my Wall late in this fight. I'll be fine. Alright, so we're at 30 seconds and the boss is at over half, but that's going to drop considerably in just a moment.
Yeah, a lot of these Magicite fights involve significant ramping up and then just wailing on the boss, no pun intended.
Lots of pun intended. Alright.
Did I mention how much prayer is involved trying to get Ishtola to double cast Medica when you just take a gigantic attack on the chin?
Yeah. Alright, so Wall's back up. Yeah, the Bismarck fight in 14 is a pretty nifty one. There's an element of like you can fall off the stage going on, and that's a bit funky. Oh, nobody broke Last Stand there. Wow, Savage Breach Blast didn't break Last Stand on Filia there. That's incredible. All right, so here comes our Detonate. All right. And another Thunder God to follow it up. And at this point, we kind of turn into the just rushing down damage portion of this. As our good buddy, as Riku is out of things to do, which is not great. And there's another incoming Savage Breach Blast.
Speaking of Titan Extreme, I basically want every single FF14 event to just have the Titan multiplayer fight.
Ha.
What? It's the best one they've done, by far.
It's pretty good. I'm excited for some of the upcoming, like, Heavensward stuff they're going to be putting in. Alright, let's use Raijin Detonate. And this is where I use the Echo, actually.
Hey, Medibot, we're fighting a whale.
It's whales. Time for whales. And there's just normal Breach Blast, which isn't actually a threat through Stone Skin, the illegal magic that it is. Alright, anyway, this boss should go down... Okay, this was a bit longer of a fight than I usually have against Whale.
I'm sorry, I just have too many Savage Baja Blasts on the brain.
The Savage Baja Blast. Anyway, Raijin
Okay, has anyone in the zoo ever had the Savage Baja Blast?
You don't want the Savage Baja Blast. That's... Or maybe you do want the Savage Baja Blast.
Maybe we all need a little bit of the Savage Baja Blast at the end of the day.
Okay, that one went well. That one was a bit slower than my previous fights against him, but it's much safer. I think that's because I put on a little more water resist accessories in that fight, rather than having more damage on. Anyway. So that's the whale. And we got another Bismarck. That's good.
That's also the last of the two seriously damaging fights.
We have one more... We still have some very rough
I mean,
fights.
relatively.
Yeah, but Bismarck is the most damaging of the fights. Next up is the one that if you watched our previous stream about Magicite, you'll probably know Liquid Flame. Liquid Flame is a boss from Final Fantasy V. You fight it pretty early in the game on the Flame ship right before the Fire Crystal. This has the same basic concept, which I love. This is like a 350 or whatever difficulty fight that is just the same sort of concept as Liquid Flame was. It has the 3 different forms, uses Blaze in one form, it has Ray, which paralyzes in another form, it self-heals in a form, like, and casts fire in one. So it's powerful. There's a lot of stuff here, but really it's all the stuff I just said about the 3 forms, and also being weak to water.
This can ironically be one of the least damaging fights that we're going to see just because of the form changing mechanic.
Right, and this is a fight where I almost don't need I probably don't need Minfilia for the fight, because Last Stand is actually not great. The fight can sap us, and Minfilia's Last Stand doesn't really work well against sap. Problem is, all my water damage is concentrated in 2 characters. I don't have a third person to bring to bear at all. If I was bringing a third person to bear, they would be bringing some sort of non-elemental damage, and just I don't think that would be as useful as the damage buffs that Minfilia brings. So,
I mean, the good news is that one of those is Bart's.
Yeah, so from this point forward, you're going to be seeing Bart's in every party. That's just the way this goes. Bart's is also going to be using, you know, a sword that ups water damage, which is great. Because Apocalypse, the sword that has Titus's OSB, which is what Titus is here for, ups water damage. We want to bring... oh, actually, sorry. We need to bring that here, and then also Bart's is going to get Sapphire Shot. And then...
I was basically very happy to have... Like, I didn't even think too much of having 2 copies of Titus's OSB sword, but now that's really the thing about Magicite dungeons. Up until now, we thought only about weapons in terms of synergy bonuses. You don't really pay too much attention to the plus element bonuses and all that crap, because it really doesn't matter all that much when your weapon gets boosted like 50% for being in Realm. But now that we don't have any synergy, those things matter a whole lot more.
The question comes up, is Titus OSB better than his chain? I would say his chain is better, but I don't, you know, that's not here, so.
Your mileage may vary.
Yeah, no, I just don't have it.
Yeah, that's also true.
Yeah, I don't have that option.
No,
so...
I've managed to get Titus's OSB up to 70,000 damage without in water.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a fight where I'll remove Minfilia. I think on Sea Lion, I'll try a fight without Minfilia. We'll see how that goes. Fire is a damage type that I have a lot of damage to bring to the table, so I should be able to do it without Minfilia. The problem is, like, dropping that last stand. Well, I want to try a different party, so I want to see what it looks like when we try something, you know, very different. I think that'll be interesting.
I guess the thing to note, too, is that the chain is about as good as your Sapphire shot hones. Like, do you have his BSB, or do you just have a shitload of Sapphire shots?
Alright, so equipment, we could have fire resist in this fight, but really, I want instant KO resist. Because there's enough of that happening, and that's actually the more dangerous of the things that can occur in this fight, is the instant KO. I will bring fire resist anyway.
Because of all the, like, gravity attacks he's flinging around?
Yeah. Instant KO resist works against gravity, which Blaze is a percentage, so it counts as a gravity-style attack.
Squirrel Token, there is a Holy Chain. It belongs to Warrior of Light.
Yep. I think that was on the Fest.
Yep. It's pretty dang good, especially since Holy Damage is spicy as hell.
Alright, I think that is everything set up here. Let me go ahead and switch our images to match the fights that we are actually at, rather than the fights that we were at. So there's the Liquid Flame image, and all of our... Oh, Magicite, we need to switch that up. That's something we haven't done. So again, I'm going to keep Enkidu on standby. We haven't had to use Enkidu in the last one, but we may have to in this one to avoid a sap knockout. That can happen. We want water damage. We want water damage up and fire resistance. So dampen fire from Liquid Flame is good to bring to bear. Not in power fire.
Oh yes, Squirrel Token. The Warrior of Light is way better than Garland. Like, Garland doesn't even have Knight 5, he just has Knight 3, despite being a Knight.
It's kind of funky. Is Bismarck dampen? Bismarck is dampen. What are you? Empower water. Okay. That's good. And then the last one I want to bring is just going to be a stat buddy, so we'll bring you for stat buddy reasons. Okay, so we have dampen water 6 and 5, which averages out to 6, and then 5 halves to 2.5, which rounds up to 3. So we have a 9% water damage increase. We have a 4% fire damage decrease. That's how the levels work. And then these other ones on the right, we have a level 5 defense up, along with a level 10 defense up. So that'll be 10, and then this gets the 5 gets half to 2.5 up to 3, so 13. So 13% of the defense of the total stats, which is the 155 here. So that's going to be like 19 or 20 defense. And then we have mind up 3%, which is just going to be 3% of this total mind, which is about like 7 or 8, which isn't much, but it's more than nothing. And these are all small things, but they all add up.
That they do.
All right. So yeah, Sea Lion will be where we try to make some like party changes, and then the last two we do are going to have some interesting play around them, because we're going to be ignoring how they want us to fight. So
this is what you're here for.
Yep.
This is a Slionine stream. You know what you're what you're getting into.
You get to wall, and you get to lesson light. I'm gonna try changing everybody except for Riku. Riku is basically a non, like, I cannot switch out Riku. I'm sorry.
Your buff is too good.
Yep. Liquid Flame here, unlike the rest of the fights, it has a very slow enrage timer. Yeah! You gotta show him the skull. That's how this works.
How many attacks usually to shift between forms? Like 2 or 3?
3 total attacks of any type. Double hits from, like, Twin Strike don't count, but double casting Twin Strikes do count. That counts as 2 shots, so...
Ah, nice.
So, like, engulfing Twin Strike will be 1 hit, even though it's 2 hits, but if it doubles up, that'll be 2 hits. I realize that's kind of funky, but, like, them's the rules. Ooh. Right now we're in a slight danger mode. We'll see how this pays out. Okay, we're fine. Danger has been sidestepped. So
everything in the game was vulnerable to level 5 death.
Yes. We did do this last time, but we're showing off a more stable version of it this time. So don't worry, you're not like misremembering. We did already do this fight, but we're doing it again for completion's sake in one stream. Oh, this fight,
yeah,
this phase here, the tornado is hilarious. It's first, if you leave it in like tornado form, it will just self-heal. And it won't switch forms until you hit it 3 times. So if you don't care about completion time on this fight, you can just wrath up 3 bars on everybody during that phase and then go to town. It's quite hilarious. The fact that that's a legal maneuver. We're getting counterblazed. That's fine.
To say nothing of the fact that you can find out that the timer actually stops at 99.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of dumb fraud shit going on with Liquid Flame that I really like. I think my favorite one was probably the person who had Cloud USB and Retaliate on, and then just killed Liquid Flame by having everybody fling multi-hit attacks at him and countering Liquid Flame for all of them.
Yep. Alright, we're gonna use Asylum here. Oh, I didn't take off Stone Skin.
I don't know if it even counts as fraud because the counter hit strategy was a legal maneuver in Final Fantasy V too.
Alright, so let's put everybody to full. And keep dealing damage. So we're actually going really quick for like what this fight normally goes in my like memory. Generally it's 30 seconds before we're actually like going, but we're using Chosen Traveler plus our Woken Water here in just a moment. So reapplying Hyper Mighty G. Yeah, so Chosen Traveler is the setup move. It might actually be better to use Chosen Traveler second. More I'm thinking about it, because the in water would give it heavier damage.
Yeah, that's right. It doesn't really care about the actual entry of the BSB, just the Spellblade stuff.
Yeah.
I absolutely adore the fact that Bartz has been turned into this quad elemental death god.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to him getting his 4th BSB, you know, that sort of thing.
Yep.
I'm gonna need to use Wall on Riku's next turn.
I think they didn't give it an wind because we're already, like, plenty sated for stupidly powerful wind damage. Like, he takes one look at Cloud BSB 2 and he's going like, well, shit, I'm not competing with that.
Yep. Oh, heck.
Yeah, he has Choco Romp, which is a unique, which is dead.
Oh, heck, I forgot to change the little, team on the side. Oh, well.
The shard that Bartz picks up is the Mime Shard. Because it's the only shard of note. And it's the only one that has to deal with water because it was the only one that sank under Walt's Tower.
I know in the Earth one, he uses all 4 jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that's what Enkidu's around for.
Oh. I'm about to see something spicy.
Yeah, we're fine. Enkidu's around for a reason.
Savage Blaze really kind of sucks because, again, you have Imperils and you're just sort of taking more and more damage as the fight goes on. The only good news about that is that Imperils do wear off after a while, although hopefully you'll be around alive long enough to see that happen. So the only inconvenience with using a Magicite is that first you have to fill it up. You can't just use it right away at the start of the fight. That's the price you pay for having a second roaming warrior, essentially. And 2, effects like Enkidu's are only really useful just like as burst effects, and Slide can't really use a second Enkidu if he needs it until Enkidu is good and ready to let him.
Yes. Also, Enkidu, as you saw there, shows up and does some wind damage, which, that don't work.
Yeah, thanks, buddy.
Okay. Getting double cast on Spellblade Torrent's really nice. That's not so nice. Let's just immediately go for Asylum.
Yeah, I was missing that triple cast on literally anything I was doing. Oh, good news is that you're almost there.
Yeah, that Savage Blaze is kind of a kicker. Is Titus going to die? No. Okay, Titus is not going to die. Okay, anyway, we're back to full, and then I'm going to have Bartz use a pair of abilities here in a row. Keep us going. Oh, I haven't done enough hits to knock him out of the person phase, as this phase is, I think, the most dangerous. Yeah, because of Savage Blaze right
absolutely.
there.
White Wind heals based on current HP. Like, they couldn't really make that 1-to-1, so percentage is well enough. And to be fair, it actually is bad to be at low health usually in FFRK, so it's better that it works this way.
Yep.
I do recall that in Final Fantasy VIII, it worked the exact opposite way. White Wind healed you based on how high the caster's HP was. Sorry, it was based on how low the caster's HP. Yeah, it was a total inverse because of how the limit break system worked.
Yeah, which is just kind of funky. Alright, we're re-chosen Traveling, and you can see the damage difference based on just us having in water on. It's hitting for 4,000 instead of 2,500. I think that means I know what I need to do on future like fights. Yep, there's the counter blaze. Oh, heck. Okay, we're alive through that.
Yeah, I was about to say, I certainly hope that doesn't actually take you out of the game.
No, we're alive, and the boss is going to fall over first, but
Okay, so the person that procced it. Okay, good.
Yeah, the person who fell over there was not, luckily not sapped. Oh, heck, a paralyze on Bart's. That's fine. Titus will finish the fight. Yeah, I don't recall Liquid Flame having millions of HP. No, that's the one in the Phoenix Tower that has millions of HP. That's that one. I remember that. Okay.
Limit breaks in FF8 were just all screwy because you could basically just shuffle triangle until you finally got it.
Yeah. Which was really funky.
It was really funky, but at least it perversely made blue magic work the way it was supposed to.
Right.
Because you're really not supposed to make blue magic a limit break, I'm sorry.
Okay, well, 2 characters are paralyzed, but, there we go.
Yeah, that's game.
Yeah, the paralyze is a killer. Yeah, another liquid flame magicite. That's good. I can combine that and probably get mine up to like 80 now.
Ray is fucking awful in this fight because you're very hard pressed to fit Ultra Cure in there on top of all the other stuff that you're doing.
Yep.
These fights go on, like, these fights are so fast that it's often not worth trying to keep up with that sort of
I'm
stuff.
gonna quick do one thing before I switch parties. I realized I forgot to take a screenshot of the party, so I'm gonna quick put that in now, so that it is like here for the record, and then we'll switch over. Yeah, for posterity, so like the party is known. But yeah.
10-2 was the last time blue magic showed up, and it actually was not a limit break. It was real honest to God skill set.
Alright.
Blue magic's actually good in 10-2 as well.
So here's this team for posterity's sake. There's the updated version. Anyway, time to head back. First thing we need to do is we need to stamina refresh, which annex, racial exchange.
Yeah, I too can't wait until FFRK just sort of fumbles around claiming that they'll introduce blue magic and will not, ever.
Cool. There we go. There's our stamina restore for the event, which is good, because we need 180 more stamina for the 3 other fights. Yeah, Vampire existed in Bravely Default, that's true. Alright, so next up we have Sea Lion. Sea Lion I'm going to try without... I'm going to try a different party setup. We're going to see how this plays out. I don't know how it'll play out, is the real deal here. So, like, we're actually getting rid of everybody except for, Riku. Riku's gonna stick around because Riku has good fire attacks with, Ruby Sparks and, things like that. But, so, of course, hi, my name's Bartz, I'm still here. But we also have Sabin and Steiner, who are going to be, along for the ride, I believe. So... And Realm is going to be our healer so that we still have a last stand, and I'm just going to see how that plays out.
The good news is that Sea Lion is the last of the Magicite bosses to do Imperil bullshit.
Right. So, let me set up the...
He's actually fairly straightforward in that respect, because he doesn't have any, like, status ailments or other wiggy crap like that. It's just ice damage and ice imperil. He has a lot of, like, he probably has the most diverse amount of attacks, both physical and magical.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. Alright, and then Miko Might.
I'm gonna say that Bartz is probably the first character that has ever made me seriously consider record materials that aren't explicitly meter building as just a normal thing.
Well, for here, I don't want meter building because the only meter that matters for him is one move, and I only need to use it once.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Whereas the meter building for Sabin and Steiner is a little more important, as they need to reach like their BSBs and be able to cast those to get things going on.
I love Steiner's USB so much, it's stupid as hell.
Yep. Fires within. Alright, soul breaks. We just need to turn on and off certain ones. Actually, hold on, let me do equipment first. I believe we'll want... So, we want to boost element fire. I do have a thing that I can have boost element fire off of, but that's going to be on Riku, actually. It is Land's BSB weapon.
Yeah, Steiner's USB is just... I get to jack up my resistance a ton, and if you hit me with a magic attack, I instantly gain an element based on the element of that attack. You literally have Vivi blast him with fire or something, and he gets in fire and spellblades his way into the heavens.
Alright. Let's paralyze. Alright, I'm kind of working out who's going to get what here.
Yeah, fair enough.
So ice resist is pretty important in this. I'm giving the major ice resist to Realm because she has like no damn health. I think everybody else can kind of stick with their attacking accessory, I think. Yeah, we'll try with just the attacking accessories as is.
Was Bravely Second the one with the weird magic berserk status effect?
I think so. I don't think that was Bravely default.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't Bravely default.
Alright, so we just have Chosen Traveler on, and I don't need Control. I just need Star Prism. So, that's going to be our setup, and Riku can actually go back row here. She has a back row okay weapon, so... I was going to this menu to change formation, even though you can do it right here. Like, there's a button for formation, I just always do it in that menu. Alright, then we have Magicites to change. Let's change up... Soul breaks are limits, yes. That is the equivalent of what they are in this game.
Burst Soul Breaks in particular are the equivalent of Trance from Final Fantasy IX, only better.
Yeah, you end up in some sort of mode that gives you additional abilities or powers, much like in that one. Alright. Attack boon, that's good. And then we want...
It's not even just getting damage, it's also doing damage.
Yes.
Among other things.
Empower ice, empower ice, empower ice, dampen blizzard, sure. That's actually wrong, I don't want that dampen blizzard. Looking for... Not magic boon. Not defense boon. Is it Bismarck? Yeah, Bismarck's resistance boon. Okay, cool. Found it. Oh, I took off the wrong one there. We want... Yeah.
Magicite in this game works more like Puzzles and Dragons, actually. You got your main, you got your subs. Main has an active effect. Everybody has a passive effect.
Yeah, the way they work, so you have this one that's on, and you get its ability to use, and then they all have a bunch of passives that are like this here. The passives are the point that I'm stacking around. So, like, these give me some fire damage, from these two. This one gives me some ice resistance, and then the rest of them give me some stat boosts. So, all right, we are ready to go with this team. This has been going pretty quick. Realize that we have I left myself the most difficult one to finish, so you know we'll work with that when we get to it. But yeah,
Sounds about right.
I also will always stress the point if there's anything I'm not explaining well enough, or like that doesn't make sense, or that is us using terms that don't mean anything. Always feel free to ask, because I realize that I'm sort of blitzing
we
through.
love asking questions.
You know, I'm sort of blitzing
We just love
through.
answering questions.
Yep. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing here? Because you know, I wanted to show off all these fights, and I realized that for people who have played these or are familiar with them, the terms I'm using will mean a little more there. But like, you know, things like OSB, BSB, and things like that are not self-evident terms. So. Okay, and then I need to change the boss picture from that boss to add file, and we are on Sea Lion.
To say nothing of the fact that Magicite is like super ultra high level optional content.
Yep. All right. So we're going in with this is a party I haven't tested. So I'm interested in this. I want to see how it plays out.
I'm glad you decided to save the best for last. I just want to throw that out there.
I'm glad.
It only took me 3 boss fights to catch on to you.
Okay. So Sea Lion is a boss from Final Fantasy IX, the second boss in the game.
Yeah, you fought him solo with Zidane, and he was a summon that the Black Waltz 1 brought out.
Yep. Okay.
Of note, you could also steal a Mithril Dagger from him, which gave you the ability to make the stealing mechanic actually sort of function.
Yeah.
Yes. Pretty soon we are going to have the free 30 relic pull from the 35th anniversary. It does what it says on the tin. One time only, for free, you get to pull 30 relics.
Yep. For the 30th anniversary. So,
Yep.
1 in 30, like, Buster Sword, you know, that's, or Tyro OSB, I think is the more funny
yeah,
one.
like, I mean, it's curated, but...
Alright, so we've gone into our burst mode. I'm just going to be using Rainbow Aura for basically the rest of the fight with Realm. And once we get into BSBs, we're just going to be doing the beatdown with everybody else here.
Yeah, try taking pictures if you can. I want to see just how many rainbows kind of sort of come out.
Okay, it is interesting to see the damage difference with and without Minfilia. Alright, I'm turning on auto for this, because the next 2 attacks I want to be doing are command 1 off of both characters, and it's faster to just let the game click them. Because it might matter, I do not want Sabin to drop out of, or to lose Last Stand here, so I wanted that attack to go faster.
Nice. The good old Final Fantasy 13 strats coming back.
It's a trick, it works with BSBs.
It does.
Alright, anyway, we are in the damage on mode. There's Savage Blizzaga. That's the most dangerous thing that this boss has, is the Imperil that it continues to apply.
It's not quite as prudent with it as Hydra was.
Yeah, the first one doesn't come out until this late in the fight, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Refia does just demolishes, but so does Terra. Terra's a very good person to bring on this boss. And here we go.
Yeah.
Double strike with the 8-strike barrage. Hell yeah, get out of here. Don't got time for that
Refia
shit.
does just frankly absurd amounts of damage to this boss. If you happen to have Terra's USB or OSB, then she also just flat demolishes this guy.
Mm-hmm. Alright, next turn I'm going to use Star Prism with Realm so that I can reapply Last Stand in case that falls off. Unless Bart's Last Stand triggers, in which case I will use Rainbow Aura to keep Bart standing. Wow, another double strike with 8-strike barrage. Thank you, Bart's.
That's why he's here. That's why he came to the party.
Okay, that's a cracked Last Stand. I think we should be okay. I think Realm should get off an ability quick enough. Wow, Bart's is just going to town on this boss.
Well, yeah, Manfilio's not here. Someone's got to pick up the slack.
Yeah, I guess so. Riku's got to use, Okay, Star Prism got off in time. Good. Like I said, these bosses are slower than Rubicante.
Yeah, this is becoming more and more painfully evident.
Yeah.
8-strike barrage is a 50% chance.
Yep.
It shares the 50. It's like it's 50-50, either 2 hits or 8 hits. Oh, by the way, Counting Kittens, glad to see that you got Payne's BSB off of the beginner banner. That's actually quite the win. Payne is a very good character.
Ooh, that's a cracked Last Stand on Steiner. Like I said, this is a new strategy, so I'm not certain. I'm certain it's faster. Like, we're at 30 seconds and the boss is under half health. Like, this is definitely a faster plan. I don't know if it's a more, like, reliable plan is the problem.
Yeah, mostly because Bart has just been operating at peak efficiency the whole time.
Right. I think Riku's next turn has to be using Enkidu.
It's nice to rely on Realm for heals because she's very good at her job.
Yes. There's Chosen Traveler again. I'm actually going to wait for the next attack that this boss does, then I'm going to use, there we go. Enkidu. Ooh, Savage Wazaga. Is that going to knock people down? It is. Bart's is down. Heck, okay. That's fine. Bart's is actually out of damage that Bart's could do in the fight, so of all the characters who could fall, that's not the worst.
Yeah, Counting Kittens, Payne has a lot of elemental coverage going into that BSB. Earth, wind, and water all at the same time.
Yeah, so the reason I'm using the single target heal instead of the party-wide heal, and I realize that this is like a... There's some math behind it. And the math is actually me getting off that the Star Prism, because the first command is instant cast, meaning that Realm's turn comes up more often, meaning that Realm builds meter quicker, meaning that I'm able to use Star Prism at these key moments like right now, so that I don't fall over freaking dead.
Yeah, the most important thing is that Sometimes you want to consider whether or not it is faster to try and go for the group heal or just flat, like, insta spot heal somebody.
Yeah. Oh, Realm is also doing some horrible targeting there. That sucks. That was awful, Realm. You need to work on that.
Probably, damn.
That was dreadful. She even had two shots at it she missed. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That was like Realm needed to heal Steiner because Steiner was the only one whose last stand had broken. Alright, well now it's all up to Sabin. Sabin's the only person left for damage. I don't know if Sabin has enough for that.
Reasonable amounts.
Yeah.
Oof. Because we are definitely at the point where he is not going to let you have free turns anymore.
Yep.
Realm, my god, how are you still standing?
Yeah, I think that's going to be a loss here. Okay, well that was worth trying out the new plan, and I think that I still need the damage and reliability from Minfilia. Realm isn't a suitable replacement healer, is the trick there.
So, who's doing more damage between the two, Sabin or Steiner?
They're very close. Yeah, okay.
Well, then I think it's just Steiner, because I like him more.
Yeah. Well, the problem is that Steiner can't use... what's the name?
Fires Within. That's correct.
Yeah, Fires Within. Alright, let's go... And that one even had a lot of luck going in our direction. I'm going to go ahead and swap things out. So we're going to... That was worth a try, and I think that that's a possible line, but I don't think it's better. Like, Realm was doing a lot of work there, but Realm... I think the big thing is that Realm doesn't have... I don't have Realm Legend Dived like I do Y'shtola.
The other problem, too, is that Realm's Legend Dive ain't all that great.
Yeah, I'm wearing the cold resist gear. It's all on. And Minfilia instead of... Let's go instead of Sabin.
Like, I will go up to bat for at least her Legend Materia Relic, because that's just a 25% chance of the instant heal having a Magic Blink stapled onto it.
That's so damn good. My problem with Realm is that she's like made of glass.
She definitely is.
It's kind of ridiculous.
That's the big problem too. Y'shtola, for sheer healing potency, just completely blows every other healer out of the water.
Oh, I'll show off why, Audible. So the accessory I had on Realm there was a major ice resist accessory. Right here, major ice resist, which is a 50%, and the moderate ones are 30%, and then minor is 10. The imperils that were being placed on us were 20%, so we were 40% weak to it. So the 30% goes down to a negative 10, but the 50% stays positive 10, and that's the difference there.
Today's magic number is 3, as in, I smoked 3 blunts tonight.
Alright, I think that is everything. Oh, wait, nope, that's not everything on. I need to switch Riku's weapon out.
Oh, hey there, Father Wolf. We're about halfway?
Yeah, we're halfway. We tried a different strategy on Sea Lion, just to see if it was functional. It looks like it could be, but it's not worth the... Like, it could be faster than this is. This is going to be a slower... definitely going to be a slower fight, but it's going to be a more reliable fight.
I'm so glad that you are just legitimately using Noctis's dumbass smartphone.
Yep. All right.
Which characters in Final Fantasy something something the most weeds a Dane?
That was that. I'm glad that was also my first thought. So I was just gonna say this is a Dane too. So
Yeah.
all right.
DJ Dragonflame, unless Sid 7 smokes tea leaves, I don't really see him smoking.
So yeah, the Life Siphon is a move from FF13 that like was a passive on Commandos or Ravagers, one of the two. Thancred?
It's something that was basically auxiliary and not something that you really noticed a whole lot of the time. In Final Fantasy Record Keeper is probably one of the most useful skills in the entire game. It is it's a single physical attack that deals moderate damage, never misses, and builds your meter faster than any other skill in the game except for Wrath, which is also built for that reason.
Yep.
It's kind of stupid.
Okay. Oh, hold on. I'm actually gonna leave the fight quick because I didn't change the before I start. I didn't change the image on the side. I want to do that before we get into this. Hold on. False start, everybody. False start. I know.
The zoo wisely points out Bartz also is an avid weed smoker.
Alright, so we need...
You don't travel the world as your job and not pick up a few things. I'm just saying.
It's all about that dragon grass, right?
Nah, I'm pretty sure that's Lena's bag.
Alright, and... this is good. Okay.
Snow Smokes is trying to get Sarah into it, so Lightning hates him for it.
Alright, so let me go to the camp. We'll get our team up and running. Hello, the team is here. And make the screenshot. And this is Team 4.
Yeah, that's why Lena's always getting poisoned. She's just built up a tolerance to all that weed, and she needs a bigger hit.
Alright, and we are ready to go. So yeah, this has been the normal plan that I've done. Like, again, Minfilia, Riku, and Y'shtola being the like, you know, normal characters I bring. Bart's used to not be on this squad, but with the advent of Chosen Traveler, he's joined it. That's just how it goes. Alright, but yeah, Sea Lion, I used to do this with Sabin and Steiner, though. That was a very stable team. That team had the damage to get it done, could get it done in about a minute, you know, like it was a good team. Alright, I could do some healing on Riku, but Riku can self-heal, so that's not actually that bad. You can only use your special abilities at a limited number of times. Yes. So the special abilities I bring with only have 2 uses total. So you have to kind of time when you're going to use them. The first one cuts all incoming damage by 1/3. So for 30 seconds, and I can use that twice, so it gives me a minute of that. The second one is the Inkinu one that heals me up, and that's the one I keep in the pocket until it's needed. Normally, the first one, the one that cuts damage by a third, is you, like, have a friend from your friends list to give you their ability, some soul break. That's pretty cool. It's a nifty mechanic.
Yeah. The Magicite dungeons cut off access to roaming warriors, which is the term for your friends list with all those abilities. And you're only allowed to use the female keeper lady, Ilara. She only has her wall at the moment.
Yep.
So that's the thing that he's using.
Yeah, but right now I'm charging up as many uses of Asylum as possible this early. The next move that he does here should be the Savage. After this Blizzaga, he does it at about 18 seconds in. So the move timing on most of these is very known, or it can be known, like on this one. And the Wind one we'll be doing next is a bit of a dance. We'll have to make our way through.
Yeah, like for as spicy as all of these Magicite bosses are, a lot of them are very consistent.
Yeah, here's Savage Blizzaga, which only imperiled 2 people. Good. The Affliction Break that I applied at the beginning of the fight lowers that chance from 100% to 50%, so it becomes coin flipping. Anyway, nobody's last stand is broke, and everybody's healed basically to full. That's the way these go. Yeah, Chosen Traveler's hitting a lot better with Minfilia around. That's nice.
Yeah, I imagine as a seasoned TCG Pokemon player, you would know more about coin flips than anyone else.
Hey, you gotta know about coin flips for that. That's true. Game's not all about them, but uses them a lot. Let's see how good Bartz's luck is today. Can't really remove imperils with the abilities you have. Yeah, I can only resist them. The Affliction Break cuts the chance of them happening in half. That's my, like, defense, is turning it into a coin flip. It's the best I've got.
The good news is that imperils go away after a while.
Okay, one hit,
until
but
he's dead.
That's good. Yeah, that's true. I think they have 20 or 30 second, like, takes.
In the meantime, though, he is constantly hammering that button, and so you're probably just going to have a whole bunch of 2s and 3s hanging over your head by the time this is done.
Yep. Yeah, I can, if I brought a different Magicite, which I should do for one of these, is, like, I could sidestep these in a way. Oh, there's a Savage.
A lot of the Magicite is built to specifically handle these fights. I compare it to Mega Man a lot, but it's really like you gotta hone up the Metal Blade for up to level 100 before you can actually start bringing it.
Yeah. Alright, well, we got hit by 2 really heavy-hitting abilities, but then we just Asylum them all away, which that's Y'shtola's entire purpose for being here. Oh, sweet, double Blazing Twin Strike, and... okay, a 2-strike follow-up. Damn, so close.
Why is Y'shtola so good at her job?
That's the power of Y'shtola. Fully legendized. She is incredible at this.
Like, the only one who can stand up to her healing might is Iris, and that's only because she trades her healing potency for just sheer unbridled utility.
Yes. Alright, so Fabula Guardian's back up at 31, which means 101 is the like death timer, as it were. After 101 happens, my defenses will have fallen off, and I'll probably die, but the point is to not make it to that stage in the fight.
Oh my god, I completely forgot that Y'shtola is a denim elemental. Those genes are too powerful.
I have to assume she has her first costume here, because this is all pre-Heavensward stuff. I have to take a look.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they'll do a bunch of wardrobe records for Heavensward, because everybody gets new clothes in after Heavensward and Stormblood. So.
Oh yeah, I feel like that's just by far the heaviest candidate for that sort of thing.
Alright, we're doing pretty good damage here. Okay, I can see everybody got sort of smacked around by that Imperil. Ah, yes, double hit with an H-strike follow-up. Hell yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. I don't know, like for instance, I kind of want Lightning to get one of her outfits from Lightning Returns just so that I don't have to stare at the friggin' goddess uniform forever. And frankly, the only reason I'm looking at Valkyrie Lightning all the time is her default outfit didn't really make that great of a transition to 2D.
Yeah, we are hitting down this boss pretty well. Looks like that's gonna be. Oh,
I imagine it's the same sort of. I imagine it's the same sort of thing with Riku, because you got the thief outfit on.
Yes, I have the thief outfit on. So anyway, everybody's standing again. It's really nice that everybody's standing again. It can be very dangerous when it goes like Blizzaja into Savage Blizzaja.
Yeah, at some point, once they get low on health, they start throwing the Savage moves into their standard rotation, and things get really dicey. Oh yeah, I won't deny that Lightning's default outfit is just completely ludicrous, and it's actually an amazing feat for them to get a 16 by 32 sprite to work with it.
Yep.
God, speaking of which, what is Caius even gonna look like? He's all beads.
Okay, I want to finish this off with Echo. Actually, might not finish. It might be Steiner that finishes this. Might be the power of the Echo. Who knows? It looks like Steiner, though. Okay, there we go. 49 seconds. So, yeah.
We'll be sorry you asked for that, TK Cat.
So yeah, the team is much more reliable with the stable core of Minfilia, Y'shtola, and Riku. It's just a good, like, team set. So, alright. But I set this up in a very specific manner, making it so that the final two bosses that we were going to battle are the most interesting. Because what we have left here is we have Fenrir, the Wind boss, and we have Golem, the Earth boss.
Oh, nice, you got a Wendigo.
Yeah.
Wendigo's actually the best Magicite for this boss.
Yeah, I want to bring that. This is actually one where I'm going to switch off of Enkidu for it. Alright, so for this boss, this is Fenrir. Fenrir is a wind boss that is ice weak and has some slows. Those are the big things. But here's the thing. I don't have anything that does ice damage for soul breaks. Like nothing, nada, zip. I have
And
like
yet somehow he was still able to master it.
I have specifically I've got like I don't know Laguna's SSB and like a unique soul break for Squall. That's it. That's all that we got in the pocket. So, who needs that sort of crap? We're just going to ignore it. So we've got Hailstorm for ice damage. We've got, hold on. And we've got Bartz, who is going to be bringing, my my honed to 6 uses Snow Spell Strike, along with Omega Drive.
Yeah, as Kasumi Blue points out, ice is relatively rare, just because Final Fantasy VIII keeps an almost ironclad grip on it.
So we're gonna have our Final Fantasy V squad show up and take things down. It's gonna be great. I really like this one because it proves that at the end of the day, like, you don't truly have to play the boss's gimmick to win. You kind of have
I'm
to.
always down for some fraud.
Yeah. All right. I do have ice abilities. You know, I've got Hailstorm. I've got like Icicle Shot. I've got all these. Like, I've got some ice abilities, but that's what I'm leaning on is these ice abilities. The most important thing to bring to this fight, though, resist, debuff, slow.
This is because his Savage attack has a 30% chance to slow.
It's super freaking bad. I hate it. I hate
it takes
it.
One person.
One person gets slowed and you're out. Also, slow can't be a Sunod.
Did I mention that Wendigo has a small chance to haste while he is acting?
Alright, and... Oh, I've got to give Riku the last one, because Riku can break it with...
So yeah, Fenrir is quite honestly the nastiest fight to have no real good answer to.
And then...
So this is going to be real interesting.
Yep, we're going to have fun with this one. We need... meter building on Gilgamesh here, because Gilgamesh wants to be in BSB for the Dispel, actually, because this boss does haste themselves.
Worse than Golem in Sly 09's particular case, because at least he has soul breaks for Golem.
Yeah, I was going to say, like,
Golem's
I left Golem for the end for good reason, you'll see.
yes.
Where's Wendigo? Rarity, I need element that's ice.
The other good thing about Magicite is that it provides a source of imperil for elements that generally don't have a whole lot.
I'm actually
Like, for
thinking
instance,
I'm gonna bring Sea Lion for as my main Magicite, but yeah.
Fair enough. Wendigo, for instance, provides an ice imperil. And I think Shell Dragon, courtesy of Golem, gives an Earth Imperil.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for the host, newbie. We're doing Magicite fights. We're on the last two.
Yep.
Today's Magicite fight is Fenrir with no ice breaks. None. I don't have any ice to bring to bear, so I don't have any ice breaks to bring to bear, so I'm not bringing any.
Yeah, he's just gonna crush him with moves.
Yeah, we can deal damage. That's fine. I have already gotten mastery on all these, so, you know. No problem. Does I want a Magic Boon? No, I don't want Magic Boon.
Can I also just reiterate again how amazed I am that you were able to pry Enkidu out of Fenrir's cold dead paws?
It was nice, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got nothing to
was
bring
just,
to this, so...
like, it was incredibly cathartic.
I had to, right? Like, there's no way I couldn't have gotten that out of there. That would have been the worst.
Oh, absolutely.
I think Bismarck is the last one I want to bring for the Resistance Boon. Yeah. And let's quick go level up some Magicite, and then we'll change the little things on the side, so to reflect what boss we're actually fighting. Upgrade Magicite. We want to level up the ones we have equipped.
Yeah, like, I remember when I first fought Fenrir, I had just Edea BSB and Sarah BSB, and yeah, that was really rough. Fortunately, Renoa's chain was able to get me into reliable farming territory.
So, newbie, I left this and Golem for the last one because Golem we're going to crush with physical. Screw it. Golem is going to die to Bartz, and I do not care. That is how we are dealing the damage. I do have Elfino's BSB. I could bring that, but I'm not going to. I specifically am choosing not to. Again,
Disgusting amounts of fraud.
I've already got mastery on these doing all these things, so I know they function. Alright, everything is built, everything is right on moves, and everything's right on equipment, so we need to change our images. But yeah, I do have Elfino's BSB, like I could bring that, but Elfino's BSB isn't enough magic for me to want to do that, so I'm not. But that's neither here nor there. That's later. That is the final feature match of the night, which I am excited for to get to show off that one. It's a good feature match. Golem wants you to play by some very specific rules, and I'm not going to.
Golem can chew it.
So this is Team 5, and we edit our team to Team 5. Hello. Alright. Alright, and we are set. So, alright. The last thing to know about Fenrir is Fenrir can physical blink. We absolutely positively cannot allow a snow spell strike to be blocked by a physical blink. We absolutely positively cannot allow a Gilgamesh OSB or BSB to be blocked by a physical blink. Those are, if those happen, we probably don't have the damage to win the fight. Is Golem doable by his physical team without Cloud USB? I have mastery on it, so yes.
Yeah.
I'll be showing you that. Just you wait. I will prove to you that that is real. Just lead off with the...
So, Gilgamesh brings a lot of things to the table that you wouldn't expect. Namely, Fenrir has a lot of attacks that are tauntable.
Yes.
Gilgamesh can spam Hailstorm, and also Gilgamesh's BSB has a Dispel attached to it, so he can quickly take care of Fenrir's haste.
I actually think that was incorrect. Yeah, I'm gonna quick restart the fight because I think my start there was wrong, and my start in this fight matters a lot. I know I got a double cast with Bartz there, but we're gonna hold on. This one takes a little bit of specific movement for it to even function, so we need to have Bartz use the wall so that he has all the buffs for his strikes afterwards.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, like, did you even have any buffs at all?
No, that was no buffs, by the way. The snow spell strike that did 5,000 there, that was no buffs.
Yeah, okay. I think you can do it.
Yeah, full buffed, it's max damage. It just hits damage cap.
That's the power of abilities, baby.
Yeah.
Magicite is going to make you love ability uses. Abilities have much higher multipliers than BSB commands for a good reason. It's just, it hasn't really mattered up until now.
Yep. Oh, yep, okay. That sure hits hard. Yeah, Fenrir's physical can just end the fight at the beginning of the fight with a chomp. As you can see, that chomp hit for 6,000 on Bartz. Luckily, Bartz has like 9,000 health to just be able to tank that. But if that were to hit somebody who's not as physically inclined, that could be the end of the fight very quickly. We'll heal it off, though. That's not a problem.
Yeah. The good news is that Fenrir has a lot of single target stuff, and really his only AoE is Savage Withering Winds. Of course, that's a hell of an act.
Right. Alright, so I'm going to give it just a moment here, because I want to line it up so that Okay, there's Howling Moon. So we're gonna break it with just a basic attack. And then here comes some... Oh, there's there's Savage Withering Winds. Oh, before I got off my Affliction Break. That's bad. How bad is the damage? Looks like everybody tasted still. Okay. And there's max damage on Snowspell Strike.
That's quite a relief. So, just for reference, most of these bosses' health hovers around something like over 500,000. Golem's is obviously significantly higher, and he has other tricks to that effect that we'll see when we get there.
Yep. So yeah, these Snowspell Strikes are the most important thing. We want double casting them, like that. Because that's, like, how a lot of our damage comes out.
Yeah, Father Wolf, like, Deuce's BSB is probably the most well-used BSB in Japan just because of her attack buff, and she's got Bard 5, which means she has access to those Bard abilities that give a lot of Boostkas and Faithkas and crap, which we don't have, and we're probably never gonna have. So, different expectations.
Yep. So you'll notice a lot of this fight, I'll have Riku basic attack. That's because I want to, if I go Snowspell Strike followed by Riku basic attack lands first. And this is really important for when he goes into his Howling mode, you know?
Yeah, he starts with just regular Howling Moon, which is a blank. Savage Howling Moon becomes a haste and a blank.
And there's Savage Howling Moon right there. Which
means that Savage Withering Winds is coming up.
Yep. Which I will be able to... Alright, so this did block a Thief's Revenge, but that's okay. As long as it's Thief's Revenge, I'm okay on the block. Because that's so much better than blocking a Snowspell Strike.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then I'm going to be dual thrusting. There's the Savage Withering Winds. I think a couple people still have a block on it, so that's okay. And we have a Affliction Break up, so we should be fine on not losing our, abilities to that.
Yeah. Also, YGY818, yes, Eiko can use 6-star Bard because she's got natural Bard 5.
Okay, we want to.
Of course, we don't have Bard 6 over here. But
yeah.
Neither here nor there.
Maybe we'll get it with the FF4 Torment. Who the hell knows? Okay, so we're at about 30 seconds, and Fenrir is at about half health, so good place to be.
Oh, she doesn't have native 5-star?
Yeah, I don't remember if she has to die for that or not.
Wait. That doesn't make any sense because, like, her record spheres were the subject of... I'm gonna look this up. Because, like, the whole point was that she got shit on because she's Bard 5, and we didn't get her record spheres the longest time.
Okay, so we're under half health on the boss. I need to reapply the wall. Oh, there's another Savage Withering Winds. Okay. I think I have an upcoming Asylum anyway to block this damage-wise, and Riku's about to cast Hyper Mighty G again, so that's good. Like, we can sort of negate the damage in that manner.
This is probably the best scenario.
Oh, we did get a slow.
Who's the victim?
Minfilia, who's already about to act anyway, so... Oh, wow, I don't have Hyper Mighty G up. That's gonna be very bad. Luckily, Minfilia's in casting Wall, so this is... Oh, God, this is not great. The situation we are in is not great. The slows are very, very bad in this fight. Incredibly bad in this fight, in fact.
Because you like really want to make sure that your buffs are running like clockwork.
Yes. So being affected by that is very poor. Luckily, our opponent's using Bite a lot, which is a move I just sort of get to ignore. Alright, we do have a Hyper Mighty G coming up. Okay.
Yes, unfortunately, she won't be in that situation for long.
There's Savage Howling Moon. Oh, shit, that's gonna block a BSB. I think that's gonna block a BSB. Ugh, that's bad.
Bart might be able to outpace it if you just, like, mash the button.
No.
Damn.
We're getting a BSB blocked here, which is quite poor. That's a lot of damage left on the table. So, like, this whole thing gets blocked. Miss, 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 miss. Yeah, that is the actual worst case. Getting a BSB or something like that blocked is the end of, like, generally the end of the fight. We'll have to see if we can make that up, but I don't think we can.
So at this point with Bart, you're just sort of, like, locked into maybe 8k damage.
Yeah, I just blocked a Savage Withering Winds, though. That feels good.
Yeah, this is definitely the nasty part of the fight where it starts entering, where a Savage Withering run starts coming into standard rotation.
Yeah. Oh, crap, he's still hasted. That's very poor. Again, the haste is something I can't leave on because it means that his enrage timer happens very quickly. Around a minute 5 rather than a minute 15. So I need to take a moment to, like, block that.
Oh, counting kittens. If Global really is getting the Bard abilities, that'll be really nice. For the uninitiated, the long and short of it is collabs and copyright law sucks. That's about most of it.
Yep. Oh, sweet! He broke his own, thing with a counterattack.
Nice. Let's hear it for Greg, everybody.
Yep. Thanks, Greg. I don't have a lot of time left, though. Again, like, so I'm going to lose my wall in about 8 seconds here of in-game time. So that's not great.
Do you think OSBs and just, like... Do you think maybe you could cinch it with damage spam?
Maybe. I don't think it's over, because I can still have Gilgamesh OSB backed up with Hailstorm, but we'll see. That's going to be Gilgamesh's
to say nothing
next
of the
move.
fact that some of his attacks can be countered.
Yeah. We are getting there. Again, I think if the OSB is blocked, we'll get knocked out.
Also bear in mind, too, that this is kind of the only good thing about Savage Withering Winds. It's an ultimate, so it pierces. So you got your guts up.
Alright, we're in the danger zone. Wall's gonna be falling off very shortly. And here's our OSB. Alright, Strange Bedfellow is going to land. That's good. Thank you, Gilgamesh, for your 2,800 contribution. Oh man, that is so dang close.
Do you think Bart's can cinch it?
I need somebody else to break the...
Why does it have to be the magic pixel?
I think we can get there.
Does Gilgamesh still have burst commands on?
No, but I just need him to break the... Oh my god, we are in the final bit here.
Oh, Christ alive.
Oh my goodness. This is so tense. Look at this dang thing's health. I'm literally basic attacking with Bart's. Alright, I think Hailstorm's got it. Alright.
Better bring it.
And there you go. I was gonna say...
Holy fucking shit.
I was gonna say, this is not just like no idea, no squall, it's no nothing. This is it. Thanks, Greg. End of mastery. So I want you to take note of how many times that boss used Bite, and Gilgamesh negated it and countered it for 2,000 damage. Like, that's the real power of Greg. So...
Taunt ain't dead.
Wing Raptor. I didn't have one of those. I think that's the one I didn't have, because I had gotten Kidu from the last one. So... I'll take it. Alright. Anyway, it's time for the main event. It is time to bust up our friend Golem. Our friend Golem from FF5 again. Wow, that's a kind of running theme here. Is a jerk. Golem has Protect. Golem has, Earthen Wall, the summon ability of Golem, which blocks physical attacks up to 30,000 damage. Golem really wants to use
this twice.
Yeah, Golem has Savage Earthshaker, which does Interrupt, which is killer. Golem's gonna die to Spellblade Wind. We are going to beat up on Golem. So for this fight, we've got Sid and Bart's.
So you may have noticed a thing about Golem. He is trying very, very, very hard to no-sell Cloud USB, as he is the wind weak boss, and that's what Cloud does.
Yep. Very hard.
As such, it becomes really obnoxious, honestly, because wind is one of the most physical leaning elements in the game. We've only got like 3 BSB users that are magic wind. That being said, there's no reason Saya has to care at all, and neither should you.
Yeah, we are going to... Does he use Earthen Wall more than twice? If he gets to his enraged timer, it goes into his standard rotation. Literally in his standard rotation. It's kind of crazy in that sense. We need to bring a Dispel.
The good news is that Protect follows similar rules. He'll start with it, and he will, I think, about 40% use it again, and then that's it until he goes into Rage mode.
Yep. Alright, so I need to... I actually think that Bart's is better served by a Battleforged materia here. Yeah, Cloud, like, even the power, like,
yes.
though it tries to temper the power of Cloud, like, this doesn't actually temper the power of Cloud USB.
Yeah, it's just 60,000 extra damage that you have to do, which is still kind of peanuts for Cloud.
Right, so we want Boost Element Wind, which means that I'm going to be putting on Choco Romp. Yay! Speaking of Choco Romp is going to be making an appearance in this. It'll be on my list. It's an in-wind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, biggest
It's
threat.
again very strange that
Yeah.
Bart's doesn't have an in-wind.
Biggest threat from this fight is the interrupt at a wrong time. Yeah, I have a lot of relics for parts. And by a lot, I mean, like, everything but Light of the Four, and, like, maybe something older. So, like, there's a reason Bart's is on all of my teams. You know.
Yep.
Alright, we want Resist, Debuff, Interrupt. I only have one accessory for that, and that one is going to go flat on Y'shtola. Y'shtola cannot be interrupted by any means. If Y'shtola is interrupted, that generally means a wipe. Because it generally means she's getting knocked out of trying to do a break, like, you know, a asylum, and that generally just means you're done. You're gone.
If, like, basically, if Ish has to use a group heal, it means you're in trouble. And if she gets knocked out of it, it means you're dead because you're in trouble.
Yep.
Oh, and by the way, Counting Kittens, yes, you're right. The 3 magic wind users in the game right now are Fujin, Alphanod, and Emperor Mateus.
Yeah, I do have, I can bring, Elfino's, BSB to bear if I want it. And that wouldn't be a bad idea. Like, I've got, Elfino right here with the burst, you know. But I'm choosing to bring Sid, as, Sid with the boost from Minfilia is going to be doing comparable damage. Not comparable speed, but comparable damage. This might be something that's better with Elfino instead of Sid, but I'm going to do it this way, as this is the way that I've had success with. Oh, sorry, last piece of the equation. Dispel.
Ah, that's right.
Uh-huh. If we get the gem selection, what relic would you choose? I don't know. That's hard. I would probably choose a relic for a character I'm already using to give them a little bit more flexibility. Something like... I'm just taking a look at who I've got sitting around that I use constantly.
Because, gosh, for Japan, the gem only was all of the BSB relics up to the Go-Go 5 event and before, with a couple of exceptions.
What would be better for this fight? Riku USB, I'm using Shout already, or Wind and Peril via Ferris USB 2. If you're already getting max, then you probably, like I have Ferris USB 2, and I'm not using it here because the Imperil doesn't really do a lot because Bart's Snow Spell Strike is maxed out damage. Like, so it doesn't actually affect that. I like USB on Riku because it means you don't have to bring Protector Shell. Fujin would be
and you actually do have to bring, you actually do have to bring Protect and Shell to this fight because Golem's got quite a few more magical attacks that are not Savage Earthshaker.
Yep. Alright, so I want to put Enkidu in front again, because I want to have the pocket heal. Thanks, Enkidu. But also Enkidu, for the first time, is going to be doing something real. Enkidu has one of the Magicite X's Empower Wind. Thank you, Enkidu.
Nice.
So,
Yeah, like I was thinking about my gem pool and was like, probably Warrior of Light BSB because I need literally any FF1 anything. Enkidu doing a thing, yeah.
Yep. Enkidu wanted to do the tournament for me tonight. That's good. Enkidu's very powerful. Like, I cannot, like, stress how powerful. Ooh. Fast Act 3. What? Whoa. Wing Raptor, I didn't know you had a cool ability in your pocket. What?
Oh my god, Wing Raptor, what did you do?
And I think Sea Lion is the other one I like to bring because Sea Lion has a 10% defense boon and is high level. Nice! Wing Raptor, you got some strong stuff in the pocket.
Yeah, I'm willing to bet that Wing Raptor is just something like, you know, like up to 10% reduced delay or something.
It's at 5 on it. Was its max.
Up to 5?
Yeah, up to 5.
I'd still take it.
Yeah, I think that I don't know if how much that'll matter. Like 5% delay on actions isn't like huge, but it's something.
If it's there, then it's there.
Yeah. Anyway, we're leveling up Wing Raptor so we have the Empower. We're leveling up Golem so that we have the damage reduction. Wing Raptor needs to be played on speed 3. The other speeds get a rounding penalty. Whoa. That's beautiful. I believe it. Alright. Anyway, on to Earth. Yeah, 5% small. Like, 5% is quite small. 5% of, you know, a 3-second action is, you know, like, what, 0.06 of the second, of a second? Like, it's not actually a lot, but...
Oh, I think TKK nailed it. Wing Raptor cast speed. I think that's about all that needs to be said.
Alright, let's set up camp so that I can put the party up on screen, and then we'll have our final Magicite fight for the night against Golem, where we crush Golem with physical moves, rather than bringing, like, ninja stuff to it. So, this is Team 6.
Yeah, who wants to Raging Storm him to death in 17 seconds? Not this guy.
Oh my god, I love that video a lot, by the way.
Same.
That video's really good. The, like, just, I brought 5 people who are using Raging Storm and the boss disappeared. Whoops. Like, I like it. Alright. Alright, let's jump on in. Our final keystone. Though I have some in the mission pockets, so...
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about, like, how long you sat on those just to make this stream work.
Yeah, a week. I had this idea for a while.
Hmm.
Magicite is definitely
will
worth.
give yes. Like, it is definitely the Ninja Magic Appreciation Station. Where defenses are so high that you start looking for anything that lets you cheat.
And yes, I just cast Armor Break. I realize that Armor Break is about a 6% decrease in defense.
Well, if you're going for flagrant disrespect, go whole hog.
Oh, sweet! Double dispel! Get out of here, jackass! You got nothing on me. Strago's also very good for this fight, yes. Ignoring defenses.
Yeah, somehow Seth BSB 1 is like the MVP of every Magicite fight. Because the piercing rocks never depreciate.
Yep. Strago's BSB is incredibly powerful.
Strago's BSB should also be on the Fest if things don't change around too much. The SNES banner is fucking stacked, dog.
Alright, here's Cave In, which is just some rocks fall. There's 4 of them. We're gonna keep wrathing with Y'shtola as long as I can get away with it. I think as long as I can get away with it is almost over, but we'll see how that goes. Does Cactar work in these fights? It would do guaranteed damage. It probably wouldn't. You can do better than 3,000 is sort of the thing.
Oh, the answer is yes. It works in these fights in the sense that it performs the task that it is meant to.
What am I using Kidu here? Specifically this way, like, I'll have Enkidu later. If I wait on Enkidu too long, like, I won't have Enkidu in the pocket anymore.
Yeah, that's the big problem. Magicite is not really conducive to timing. You can't just stockpile them. You gotta, like, use them, and then you gotta wait.
Spend them if you got them. Should have Earth and Wall come up soon. I'm kind of surprised he hasn't Savage Earthshakered me. It's been 20 seconds. Like, come on. There you go. Thank you.
So, like Savage Withering Winds, Savage Earthshaker is a 30% chance to interrupt.
No luck involved. It's called, it is the power of my friend Affliction Break, which is what I brought to this fight. Alright, we need to quickly pass on some, turns so that I can get to my Dispel turn, because I don't want to Snow Spell Strike into a Protect. That'd be lame.
Yeah, Bartz really has to rely on Hones a lot.
Yeah.
I noticed.
Yep, that's why Snow Spell Strike, I honed it to 6 uses.
You're getting good mileage out of it, I don't blame you.
I love that we're getting double cast Dispel. That's too dumb.
Look, Isha is really thorough about her work, okay? God, now I'm just remembering, like, slamming my head against Apoc Rubicante for 2 hours and then just throwing out the jump start and just destroying him in 5 seconds.
Alright, I'm putting on my In-Wind. Probably should have done that first, to be honest. This might want to change its strategy, but we'll see if that's necessary or not.
Newbie, not gonna lie, I'm, like, supremely jealous of your Apoc Rubicante.
You're still
If
like,
only I could have that luck and precision.
The jumpstart was 4 actions for me. I used Cloud USB, I used Bartz's BSB, I used Chosen Traveler, and then I used the BSB again, and then weird, the boss was dead. That's funky. What happened there? Like, the boss just disappeared.
Yeah, mine was just sort of like mathematical precision with Noctis SSB and like Riku imperiling him into the friggin' dirt.
Ah, punch.
Yeah, Kasumi, that is not a bad setup at all. Cloud's BSB2 is very, very good.
Yep.
It's honestly kind of fitting. Like, we briefly touched on BSB's shifting from pure damage or self-sufficiency to utility as abilities get more and more powerful. But, like, Cloud BSB2, that Command 1 is still an incredibly strong contender, if only for the fact that Cloud doesn't have any other wind abilities to his name other than, like, what, Tornado Strike?
Yeah.
So he kind of needs to have his Command 1 be super powerful.
Okay, and Kidu is back off. Okay, we did get 1 interrupt.
Meanwhile, I look back over to the stream and you suddenly have demolished his health.
Yep. He's going into his earthen wall, which I'm going to immediately break with Chosen Traveler. Yep, there it goes. Hell, that was only half a Chosen Traveler broke it. Wow, he immediately responded with a Savage Earthshaker. I get it, you're mad, you're annoyed, you are angered. Whatever, I have timed my Last Stand revival and my Asylum to get back in this fight immediately. So
God,
here we go.
Golem must be so fucking mad right now.
He is incredibly annoyed at what is going on, but he cannot stop this. There is no way for him to be able to stop the things that are happening right now. He is going to take damage, and he has no say in this.
Meanwhile, this is like 46 seconds. How about that?
Yep. So he's done with Earthen Walls. I think he might have a Protect still left.
Possibly. From now on, if Slyo, for God knows what reason, takes too long, Earthen Wall will enter his standard rotation in Jerk mode.
Yep.
I don't think that's going to happen because, probably because of Earthen Wall, Golem has a much higher threshold before he goes into Jerk mode.
There's the 8-strike barrage. Hell yeah.
Yo, Sid, why do you deal so much damage? It's kind of unreal.
I think Sid might fall over here. That's not great.
Though, I can seriously respect Sid looking at, like, all of the utility bullshit that most BSBs get rung through the presser for, and then just going, nah, I just feel like hitting a bunch.
Yep, okay, Sid falls over. Because he did 3 Earthshakers in a row. I don't have an answer to 3 Earthshakers in a row.
Yeah, that's kind of a problem.
Yeah, I guess I could have Enkidu'd to save him. I don't know if that would save him, if that was enough health. That's fine. We're still here, so... We're just going to play as though we just need our friend Bartz to finish this off.
You also got an Enkidu in the pocket.
Yes, that I do. We got Blessing of Light reapplied. I think Riku probably wants to just, like, sit on a turn for Enkidu, I guess? Like...
God, I'm so mad. Like, I was a little bit upset that I didn't get chosen Traveler, and then I started being like, oh, well, okay, the chasers don't really do that much damage. And then you're doing this, and I'm getting mad again. It's a vicious cycle.
Right, because I just did double Snow Spell Strike and then an 8-hit shot, and then Golem fell over dead? Like, that was weird. Oh, sorry, Golem didn't die. Whoops. I was incorrect there. Sorry, that was a lie. Golem didn't die from the 8-hit plus double spell Strike. Golem died to basic attack from Riku.
Oh, hell yeah.
Basic attack. That's the only thing you need. Just basic attack. Who needs hones?
Oh, man, what a way to end.
Alright, and that is Mastery. Yeah, Poke God. Just shatters. It's rules. So there we go. And that is, that's the Magicite Fights. So yes, Golem wants you to bring wind magic. Yes, Golem wants you to play around its gimmick. Yes, you can kill Golem anyway. So I'm glad. This was a good stream. We showed off all 6 of the Magicite Fights. We showed off their fights, their gimmicks, their game plans. We had to make a couple changes to them, and we got our weekly mission for 6 of them. Sid was just having a nice nap. It's nice. It's fine. All right. Now what's this message announcement? The Dark Mage Torment Dungeon. Oh, it's yeah. FF8 Torment.
Is it FF4?
Or sorry, I said F8. FF4, yeah. Wrong one.
Yep, Golbez and the Shadow Dragon.
Yep. So I'm gonna go ahead and collect my prizes, which are a bunch of Mithril and some Magicite stuff. So there we go. That was the Magicite dungeons. I think we got to have a lot of fun showing off how you can. So they asked some very specific questions, but under the right circumstances, Bart's has the key to all doors, really. You know? Like, Bart's
I
has
thought
the
you were about to
skeleton
say
key.
something profound, something that everybody could take home and put in the bank. Nah, it's Bart's.
No. Look, the profoundness of it is that yes, you can work around the gimmicks. You can you know, even with no ice soul breaks, I was able to beat Fenrir. You know, that sort of thing. And that was on Gilgamesh
Yeah.
even more than Bart's. Bart's was good, but Gilgamesh was necessary as well. So yeah, there are setups to get you through.
Well, it's also pays to notice that, like, Fenrir is probably one of the most awful ones.
So yeah, and right now that I did the chicken knife showdown, and everyone's like, "Wait, I don't have a chicken knife." All right. Anyway, thank you everybody for showing up today. I hope you all had a lot of fun watching the Magicite Fights. I know I had a lot of fun doing this. This is you know,
I had a lot of fun watching this.
yeah, it was a very different style of game. So you know, going through and doing this, it's the hardest content in the game. If you want to see more things like this, you can go ahead and follow me. I don't always do Record Keeper. I do those with Vpriz on Mondays if Vpriz has some troubles. If you really want to support the channel, you can always subscribe to the channel. That's always cool. You get a really cool skull emote, the nice level 5 death skull. I'm glad to see some of those. Thank you very much. I love the support. And yeah, that'll be all. Thank you for joining. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.